If you didn't see last night's game between the Cavaliers and the Thunder, then you missed out on one of the best games of the season, representing my prediction for the two teams that will appear in this year's NBA Finals. Yeah, you heard that right. I believe the Cavs can beat the Celtics, and no one in the West matches up with the Thunder well enough. So let's get into this game and find out how this back and forth affair was decided. One thing that caught my eye right away was how often we saw push shots and floaters utilized by both teams. For Isaiah Hartenstein, it's a way of life, and he made no less than 7 of these last night. Most of them come when OKC utilizes SGA's gravity to lure a second defender, which means the next pass has a closeout to attack. When J-Dub drives into the middle, Hartenstein's man has to rotate over, and he's ready to catch and shoot this thing over the contest. This time, he's playing opposite Jalen Williams as he spaces to the three-point line, knowing Jarrett Allen will be drawn to help. Another middle drive forces help, and watch how Ihart hops into the catch to ensure proper rhythm and a quick high-arcing release. Here, they use him as the roll man, but instead of SGA passing it to him against the zone, they release pressure to the wing. Williams attacks the seam between the guard and the forward and hits Hartenstein for another push shot. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ball screening the guard in the 2-3 zone is a great way to gain an advantage, and this is the number one seam you want to attack between the guard and the forward as they get another score in crunch time. And it makes sense that we see as many floaters as we do with the NBA, since defenses are determined to press up and force you off the three-point line, as SGA demonstrates great touch on the high-arcing shot. Ty Jerome utilizes the get action to the right side, and because he's relatively short, he's got to be crafty as he lifts off the right foot and shoots with the right hand on a quick release before his man can get in the air to contest. And Darius Garland also uses the off-foot floater towards the baseline, catching SGA with his heels in the restricted area to avoid the charge and hit the shot for an and one. The main way the Cavs hurt the vaunted number one defense of the Thunder was with the short roll. Keep your eye on Dean Wade after he sets the initial screen and cuts all the way across the court. Hartenstein will come up to screen level to protect against a possible pull-up from 3 from Garland, and that allows Allen to get half a step below Hartenstein to receive the pass. Wade's man gets lured into the help, and Allen makes the good decision to hit the corner for the wide-open 3. Against Donovan Mitchell, we see the Thunder hedge even higher with Kendrick Williams, allowing Evan Mobley to short roll to the free throw line. Isaiah Joe correctly rotates over from the weak side, and Mobley reads this quickly to hit Strus wide open. In a perfect world, SGA would have had to rotate to the corner, but that's an awfully long 30-foot closeout that I doubt he could ever cover in time. The Thunder continue to defend the pick and roll in this manner, this time blasting Mitchell above the three-point line. With Allen rolling, the pass doesn't have to be that accurate, and SGA does rotate over correctly, but his man takes up the slack, and Williams is 2 steps slow, recognizing he has to sink down, as Wade does a nice job with the one-handed lob. But watch what happens just from the threat of the roll man out of the pick and roll. This time, Hartenstein drops to invite the ball handler into the mid-range. Since Allen doesn't get below him, he can contain the ball and mark Allen as well, but Aaron Wiggins rotates needlessly, and Ty Jerome takes up the slack to cut to the basket, with Kendrick having no hope to stop this nice no-look dime from Max Strus. The defense made the same mistake early in the third, and Mark Daniel needs to clean this up. With Ihart dropping and Dort chasing, there's no need for J-Dub to rotate to the midline to help to the rolling Allen. This is an easy read for Mobley as he steps through for the layup. And that threat on the roll can open up more than just layups or cutters coming out of the corner. Watch how they purposely position George Niang on the weak side to lure Mobley's man into bumping down to help on his roll. Once Strus sees that, it's a quick skip pass to the left wing for an open jumper. And lastly, the threat of the roll itself is very real, and by cutting Wade through the lane, they again lure the help off his man, and watch how this opens up a wide open shot for Donovan Mitchell in the corner if they want it. But Allen has a foot of height advantage and abuses the shorties down low. Now watch how they utilize pistol action to put defenders in impossible situations. The Thunder want to switch the handoff while Dort doesn't want to leave Mitchell, whom he had been harassing, into a bad shooting night. That means Williams has no hope recovering from the high side against Mobley's roll. Credit SGA with rotating properly, but he didn't want to risk picking up his 5th foul here. While part of the story is that OKC isn't fully healthy with Caruso and Holmgren still out, Cleveland was able to beat this team when their best player had a terrible shooting night. And it wouldn't have been hard to predict this knowing Lou Dort was on the scene. just like making predictions on other players can make you money playing PrizePicks. This is by far the most fun I have had on any app when trying to figure out whether players will get more or less in certain stats. Tonight, I think Trae Young is going to take advantage of his Suns team in turmoil. Let's welcome back Paolo Banchero by cheering him on to grab a lot of boards, and I feel Lauri Markkanen won't be able to fill up the box score against the Heat on the road. You can now win up to 1,000 times your money, and I know when these picks hit, I'll get my money in as quick as 15 minutes. Best of all, download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. You should be attracted to PrizePicks as much as Dort was to Mitchell, and he just couldn't get comfortable all night long in the torture chamber. He slaloms around the screen to stay in front, and watch how Dort uses the same footwork as Mitchell on the spin, perfectly in sync so that he can rise up and block a shot out of his hands. Even when he got free of Dort on the screen, check how Wiggins uses some leverage with his arm in the back of Mitchell as he's on his way up, but the refs let him play, and I'm all for it. Dort gets into a chase situation, keeping his hand on Mitchell's back for as long as possible, which sped him up too fast so that when it came time for the full speed, off-foot twisting layup, he can't hit it. Mitchell struggled all night since the entire team was focused on him. The Cavs successfully peeled Dort off of him on the ball screen, but it ain't getting any easier going up against Gilgeous-Alexander. While he does get a step on him near the basket, Hartenstein times his help perfectly and gets a fingernail on the shot. Even a pull-up that seems to be open can be tough as Dort lunges at him to contest the shot. I'm sure Mitchell is thinking about where he's going to land, while Dort snaps his hand away while spinning to avoid being in his landing spot. That's too much to think about from that distance as Mitchell unsurprisingly shoots it long. Dort did need to be better on this play as he seems to recognize a screen from Strus is coming over his left shoulder, but he runs smack dab into it and finds a seat. It's a perfectly legal screen, and it left Isaiah Joe at the mercy of the stop on a dime tween into open three ball to break the tie. Jarrett Allen was just a one-man wrecking crew and was most responsible for the Cavs winning. While the Thunder had them scrambling to find a shot as the shot clock started winding down, Jalen Williams was concerned with the one more pass to Garland in the corner, leaving SGA to box out Allen under the hoop. Offensive rebounds are when the defense is most vulnerable in the scramble to find new men to guard, and Allen gets the assist from the Garland three. Middle penetration should be prevented at all costs by any defense, as the Cavs demonstrate with Mitchell crossing Joe over and getting to the dotted line. Allen's man must rotate over, J-Dub must sink down, and that guarantees an open corner three for Mobley. But it also means that the scramble defense isn't connected to Allen under the hoop. While the shot was frankly sad, it ended up being a pseudo-assist to give the Cavs the lead. Part of being a good rebounder is just being in the right place at the right time, as Allen rolls and then camps out to the weak side of the rim. Who knew the shot would be this far off target, but Allen stayed ready and finishes strong to increase the lead. Remember how well this short roll worked for the Cavs? Same thing here as the Thunder again bring Hartenstein to the level of the screen. The Thunder rotate well to take away the cutter from the corner, but it opened up a potential three to the hottest guy in the gym in Max Strus. Hartenstein is closing out, no need for Joe to also step up, and this directly leads to a wide open shot from a good shooter. But it also left Hartenstein 20 feet from the hoop, so Allen can vacuum up the shot on the weak side and ultimately got fouled and earned free throws on his putback attempt. Watch how Cleveland sets this up to get an advantage on the offensive glass. They quickly screen to force a switch, and now Wallace is on Allen. SGA should have scrammed him out of there, but he's dealing with foul trouble. So now the Thunder switch this ball screen so they don't get killed by Mobley's short roll. But remember how I said Allen just knows how to be in the right place at the right time? Because Hartenstein is at the top of the circle, Allen can corral the long rebound and draw the foul on SGA. On the second free throw, Hartenstein doesn't get his arms up early enough on the brick, and the Cavs get another crucial possession. Hartenstein wraps his arm around Allen's waist to slow him up on the short roll, leading to Mitchell keeping it and slamming a midi off the backboard. But Allen knows that most shots from that side end up on his side, and he battles two players to grab the board. While there wasn't much time to do anything, as the shot goes up, there's a foul called on Mitchell in the corner. I thought for sure they'd call either a hold here or a push off here. Instead, Cleveland wins the challenge when the ref says he didn't extend his arm on the push-off. I'm still not sure I agree with this one, but the Cavs make the most out of the extra possession. They had scored on this play earlier in the game when Mobley comes off the pin down for a little free throw line jumper. And this time, Hartenstein does a good job to get around that screen and make Mobley catch it a lot farther from the hoop. I wouldn't have thought an ISO out top for Mobley would be the wisest play to run, but he goes off the one for, you guessed it, a floater over the outstretched arms of Hartenstein. This was a very skilled play as he jumps off the right foot and shoots with the right hand to catch the defense a fraction late to contest. The Cavs played a ton of zone, and overall it was very effective all night. Watch how Strus comes up much higher this time to stop the penetration by Williams here. When the ball is passed to Hartenstein at the free throw line, you'll see the defense morph into a man-to-man. This gets SGA sped up slightly faster than he wanted to be, and when he tries this off-foot lefty runner off the glass, he cannot control it enough, and the Cavs get the crucial stop. They can't get much going as they slowly let the clock wind down, and Strus wanted to force a switch so he could pop and get open for a three. When that doesn't materialize, Garland engages Wallace and gets him leaning to his left with the right foot jab step into crossover. Unclear why Hartenstein doesn't rotate a little sooner for a full contest, but it's Garland who gets it up and over the J-Dub defense and ends the game. It looks to me like Cleveland has all the ingredients to make a finals run, and let's hope OKC makes it too, since this would be an epic matchup that would no doubt lead us to a number of great games and finishes. But if Chet and Caruso are able to play, I fear Cleveland won't have enough to win the title.